Welcome back, guys. It is the Gliders on BETWGB TV. After such a long time, I'm back hosting this show. All thanks to my boss, Euphoria. You know her as Joy. She's not able to make it down today, so it's a privilege to be hosting the show today. My name is Emmanuel Sebastian, for those of you who don't know me, and today it is all guys. We're doing guys today on the show. Why are you laughing?
I beg you. We are doing all guys. You know the funny thing? You are in a safe corner. Now me and Nicolo, now we talk. Now we get leaves.
Now we reduce small. Now Buki won't turn you to.
I beg you guys. I beg. What I meant was that it's all guys on set today. So don't get it twisted.
It's all guys on set.
All guys on set today. I mean, good to have the guys on the show. Felix, good to have you on the show. And quick one, guys. Felix, do you watch Big Brother?
I do. Big fan.
You look like kind of a pastor, like a person who does it. Like, you know, those moral people who say no.
So since my father, I'm not sure anybody else has called me a pastor in a long time.
With the hopes of you becoming pastor.
My papa then be the hope say one day I go stand for altar they preach, but eventually I go south. But you don't take away anybody call me pastor. But I'm a big fan of Big Brother Naija, and
interesting.
Very, very, very big fan of the show. I see a lot of things good about the show, how they bring out people and give them quick up. We are to take people 5-10 years to get to in just 7-8-10 weeks on being on that show. You see people elevate their careers and become great people in the industry. Examples abound. Ebuka, Lekon, Utsi, like Likorus, Bisola, Toby Bakri. Like, there is so many examples of what goodness can come out from
the show.
And I'm a very, very big fan of the show. I wish we had something like that for sports.
Yeah, because I know you used to have something with V, you know, on social media. So looking at you, I know you watch Big Brother.
That's my baby now.
They don't break up.
No, I saw her kissing somebody.
Something about V.
So I saw her kissing somebody one day on social. She posted it. She broke my heart. But yeah, that's my baby now. That's like somebody I really like, just grew to like on the show, because that's like the only set I really followed.
Has she ever acknowledged the crush?
Yes, now she messaged me. She replied to my comments on Twitter one time, and everybody on Twitter was like going crazy. Finally. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go see that. It's not really that deep, sharp, but that was like that was the set I actually watched properly, because we were home that year, COVID. Since then, I've not really been able to like watch, like follow up religiously. Any of the other seasons, I've just like check. Just see stuff online and all of that, but their set was like really entertaining for me. Supported Lekon, then there was V. You know, I thought I was gonna marry her though, but
so guys, what's our general perception about the show? Because I mean, we've seen people, I mean, the moral police out there that the show, there's so much immorality going down. It shouldn't be on TV. It's a distraction. The youths will vote there, but they won't go and vote. You know, when it comes to election. And so generally, I mean, what would you say about that, Felix? What would you say to those kind of people?
So much high service. I say high. So much high service from people like that. Cause two things: Big Brother is not sponsored by the Nigerian government. It's not like they are using Nigerian money to back a show that you claim to be corrupt and immoral or and distracting, not serving any good to the society. It is private individuals sponsoring the show, private entity organizing the show. And secondly, it is 18 plus on a dedicated channel. It's not on free to air TV. It's not something that you just walk out for road.
just
they see up and it's not on billboard like they are showing the whole immoral stuff on billboard, or they are printing flyers to show. No, it's on a dedicated channel that you have to subscribe, pay your money, subscribe, search for that channel, because it's not always there. Search for it, bring it out there and watch. So if for any chance you watch it, I'm not talking about those people that get to see clips on social media, and with even that one, I can even argue that your timeline would only feed you what
you're interested in seeing.
Like things that I don't want. There are some things that you'd suggest to me now about CNN and so on. I'll probably not relate, because it does not pop up on my channel or my timeline. So if Big Brother is popping on your timeline, it's because you have interest. So
I also feel like Nigerians are actually very hypocritical about this kind of things. First is the fact that you feel like it is distracting. Why do you think it is distracting? The reason why we are not progressing as a Nigeria as a country.
So you think it's not distraction?
It's not distraction because the only people we should be blaming for Nigeria's situation are the people that are in charge. Entertainment is a normal thing. Even the most forward-thinking countries in the world have entertainment shows. Yep. There's Big Brother US, there's Kinikon US, All Star US,
Big Brother Netherlands.
Even forward-thinking countries have Big Brother. There's entertainment, just like watching football. Should we stop watching football because Nigeria is not good? The people that we are to blame is not multi-choice or people that are bringing Big Brother. The sole problem that we have are the people that are in charge of the government. Blame the government and not the entertainment. We're just trying to defect. Oh, this is the reason why people are not voting. What is the reason we're not voting? Is that the reason why the country is bad? I don't understand. The reason why the country is bad is for the reason that the people that were employed, the people that we voted to go and lead the country, they are not doing their job.
Many people watch this and disagree with you.
That's their problem now. We're all hypocrites now, so definitely. So people that have that same mindset will also feel so. And people that think that is also immoral, don't come and be telling me about immorality. Phyllis has explained, you have a chance to mute or block these things. And people also think that, Gen Z, Kinikon, or Ghana, they lie. Back in the days, the likes of Obese, they used to sing very obscene things in their... Zulezu was singing Kerewa in 2008. Right? Yeah. There's also been the likes of Spartacus movie and all of those movies. You watch all of these things in private, but because all of those kind of things, they've been doing it since long. Even we've seen pictures in 1969 where they rock for club in this Lagos. But you think they are rocking with Hiro and Buba. I saw pictures of back in the day. People that had access to these things, they were rocking in club, guy. I see the pictures, say, these are the parents that will now say, Gen Z, una don't spoil.
One thing that show has done is, the amount of sponsors on Big Brother. I look at it and I marvel. Like, look at the amount of brands pumping in money into that show, and they reap their rewards at the end of the day. You may see the winner. For those of you who don't know, 80 million naira. That's not small money,
in total price.
And like I always say, you necessarily don't have to be a winner on the show. It depends on how you go on to use the platform. We've seen runners up go on and even do better, become more relevant than winners on the show as well. So it's wonderful. I watch the show for personal reasons. I love what Ibuka does. I love how he handles the live shows, the kind of questions he asks. His dress
very
sense
intelligent
and all that. So it's really, really wonderful to see. And there's something we're talking about off air. Which of us would do better on the show?
I don't know.
Felix,
I don't.
Felix, Big Brother, how would you do?
I feel like I would hold up well because I am kind of entertaining. I want to believe I am entertaining.
Yeah, you want to believe.
To be honest, do you know that the problem now is that you would think you're entertaining until you go on the show, and you don't show your entertaining parts. Because you don't know what camera is showing.
On the first day. When they ask, what are you bringing? People say, I'll bring madness, I'll bring madness. First week, yes, you're giving back, but after 1 week, you don't realize that,
you're not getting screen time again.
Nobody.
Imagine the time that you feel like you're giving somebody a very genuine gist and the camera is not on you, or they're on break.
Because another person, they fight, they quarrel.
And they're on break, or Kayode is showing something else.
I think I'll do well on the show. I would use my we were talking about strategy. I don't think I'll go there with any strategy. I'll just go, be myself.
Do you know why?
The best of my abilities.
The reason why I feel like I might not do well on the show, I don't know. I might eventually still do, but the reason why I used to think about it a lot, but I feel like I don't do well in a dog eat dog situation, right? I don't really.
You have too much love inside of you.
I don't do well in somewhere that I feel like there's too many gamers. I don't know how to I don't know how to play people. I don't know how to sit in your face and tell you something else, and we are scheming with somebody else behind. I feel like I'm a very very loyal person, and that might mess me up, right? Because what if you just see just one person or two people that are your guys and you're inside and you're not relating with all of the other guys, and I feel like everybody's ganging against you because there's so much scheming that goes into, because if you imagine 29 people and there's going to be only one winner, and you're expected to play the game.
Let me ask. Too much. We are all sports people here. Do you think any sports person has gone on that show and done great? I
think the only person
we've had Ozo.
Groovy and Ozo. The biggest is Mike.
They had what was this guy's name that was with this girl, this chubby girl.
I didn't watch this.
That was getting all those
Denari.
I think the biggest is Mike Edwards. Definitely Mike Edwards in Messi set. I didn't watch their set, but I met him eventually after. Does high jump. did with
True,
Nigeria.
yeah,
I think he also went to the
Shakes
Olympics.
went there, but he left sport and did love.
And now Mike has also switched to boxing. He's fighting, I think, is he heavyweight or middleweight boxing?
He's
He's
a boxer now.
Yeah, he's a boxer
Oh,
now.
really?
He has switched from high jump. He came for the Olympic trials in Yabatek. I remember he qualified for the Olympics. I think that was like 2021 or something. And then
for boxing?
for high jump,
high
right?
jump.
So he qualified for high jump, and now I think during the course of this year, he has now switched to boxing as well. He's a very big athlete, and I enjoy like following himself and his wife. His wife is also an athlete. She represented Great Britain in 4x4 hurdles, and imagine the kind of sports that those guys are like. Their families like always vibes, you know. They have 2 kids now, and the wife. I follow up with them, to be honest. Like you know, eventually, this is why Big Brother is also like a very good thing, because you eventually connect with people like your type, right? You connect with like, so when I saw Mike, I didn't watch that set, but eventually following up with him after,
then
I know that because I took a picture of him in Yabatek, and then he posted it because they brought his child when he qualified. I took a very nice picture, and then they sent me a message then to send them the picture. His PA sent me like a mail, like, can they use the picture, can I remove my watermark and all that, and then they used it for like a very nice video. That's like 20.
So what?
We
are stretching. I wanted to ask why I didn't remove watermark.
But he gave me my credits, actually, like tagged me in his comments and all of that.
We've got a couple of our sports lovers on. I mean, there's also Leo as well. I think he's an Arsenal fan. There's one certain Leo da Silva on Twitter.
Leo is doing big things.
Yeah,
I've gone to his watch party like twice.
Yeah, I know he does some watch parties. He's a huge Arsenal fan. You mentioned Shakes as well. You know, appearing on TV shows now, sports shows.
So it's spreading across. There
are
actors,
also a scarf administrator.
Yeah, doing well in his admin works. Shakes went there as a professional footballer before. Now he's into talking sports. Cross as well mentioned that he was a footballer at some point. We just got engaged. Yeah, he just got engaged recently. You know, so for those of you who are saying the show is immoral, these people still come out there.
There's platform for a lot of people
do
now.
a lot of things for themselves.
Sasuke is also my other crush. Sasuke is doing her masters.
Hey!
They follow them back to back.
I thought I was mad about it.
But the funny thing is that I don't actually watch too much, right? The people I take interest in, I'm like checking on them a lot. So Sasuke paints. Sasuke is Alison's friend.
Yeah, Alison.
They were like very close together. So Emmanuel knows Alison.
Alison was a core member of the WCQ crew at the very onset. So you know, we have someone within us as well. So I mean,
maybe one day we'll see maybe Mikolo
or Joy as another person that can do well on the show as well. If you ask me, Timothy, I don't think.
They will problem with Joy for that show. Joy and our mood swings. Nigerians, this guy is evil. They're not gonna say she just ate Monday. If we're gonna do set alarm 5:30 a.m. she go give you good voice.
I beg you, if you're watching this, we know it's not intentional, but we just say what we feel like. But I mean, a whole lot happened in the course of the week. So many talking points across football. Erling Haaland is firing on all cylinders for Manchester City across all leagues as well. You know, the Flying Eagles, the Super Eagles, the international break, the second international break of the season. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll get into the show proper. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. It is still the Gliders on BETWGB TV, and like we always say in every edition of the show, just to remind you that you can claim your bonus credits if you sign up on the BETWGB platform. A bonus credit awaits you. Just use the promo code Gliders and enjoy the very best of the platform. And don't forget, bet responsibly as you go and enjoy the very best. Now back on the show, guys. I mean, let's start from the most watched league in the world, the English Premier League. As usual, Felix, good to have you on the show. You're a Manchester United fan.
By the way, I didn't mention it's my first time on the show. And myself, Joy is not sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah,
the rotation is called depth. The rotation is going on.
Is it my first time coming on when Manchester United have won?
I mean, you guys don't win. You guys don't win many games, so
you might not be here next time because maybe you might lose because because it's Anfield. You go next.
That's past the batting to Liverpool.
Anyways,
you guys are facing up
we'll keep
next.
our fingers crossed. But I mean, how impressed? I mean, it's Sunderland. No disrespect, but how impressed are you? I mean, Nicola was referencing something about Sunderland at one time when you talk about United that they won more points and stuff like that.
They've won. They have, I think, 12 points since they got promoted in August, while United have had, I think, excluding the win against Sunderland, they've had 11 points since I think the start of the year.
So Felix, how impressed are you with that win?
United have had 11 points.
You see the surprise.
I think so. Before this win against Sunderland, that was when I said that
was when he said it. So don't get it. That was when he said it. But you know,
it's shocking.
But yeah,
how impressed were you with that win?
Fantastic win. And it's one of the few games this season where Manchester United have deserved, or Man United have
gotten what they deserve.
I largely feel that United have gotten what they've deserved over the course of this is, except maybe for 2 games. I think we deserved more than we got against Arsenal. We deserved more than we got against Brentford. But every other game, I think what has happened has been the true reflection of how we have played. But very good game against Sunderland. Coming into that game, Sunderland were in the top 4, top 5 of the Premier League, and a lot of people were saying United struggle against this sort of teams that you need to break them down. But Sunderland, credit to them, they came to Old Trafford wanting to play give United space to attack, and of course cause them problems at the theatre of dreams. But good win for Ruben Amorim. United, you don't need to click Simon now on the table to see Manchester United on the table. We are 10th
progress
and it's just 6 points between us and Arsenal, so it's still possible for us to win the Premier League title.
Let's go.
Ruben Amorim keep coming out to say that why they lose game is not because of the tactics. I mean, like, he kept on trying to stay strong on when it comes to that he set up and all that. And what do you make of that? Have there been any United game where you thought the setup could have been better? The setup was why we lost this game.
For me, I think two truths can coexist. I think, yes, a football match is not all about the system of the players. You don't need any system or formation to beat Grimsby. United lost on penalties to Grimsby, so you cannot blame the formation for that. But also, I quite agree with him. I don't have any problem with 3-4-3, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, whatever formation a coach. Your principles are the most important thing. As a Flick was saying the same thing, they were asking about his system at Barcelona, why he does not want to change the high line, and they said the system is not the problem, they are making some basic mistakes. I quite agree with that. What I don't like about Ruben Amorim is how rigid he is and stubborn. Those two things, he's not flexible and he's stubborn. Those are the two things that you cannot be a top coach and you've all through your career you've played only one system. You've come to a new league where managers are alternating things week in, week out. Teams have 3 midfielders in the Premier League and they will still ask their fullbacks to overload midfield. And you want to play in that same league with just 2 midfielders. It is very difficult to do. And the most worrying part for me with Amorim is not necessarily the 3 at the back. My problem is United are starting a game with 3 at the back. Chelsea gets a red card. They have one less striker and very little to offer going forward. My coach still leaves 3 at the back even when he's making his sub. United are chasing a game. Amorim will still have his 3 at the back and he would rather send Mason Mount and Mbeumo to go and play wing backs so that he can bring in more attackers than to change the shape, to try and give teams different kinds of headache. You want to go into this game, let them not be able to predict that this is how you set up and this is how we break their press, this is how we play against them. That's my biggest problem. I feel he's the closest manager that United have gotten to anybody that when we go into games, I feel United we are going. It was on this show, and I mentioned that if United lost against Chelsea, I was going to do something. I did my other show with singlet because I felt comfortable. I felt like United were good. We are going to do something. Amorim has brought that, but I don't like that he's rigid and he's stubborn and he's not flexible.
Well, he's still in the job at this very moment, and
much to my delight,
much to everyone's delight, because we want to see the banter keep on coming. But talking about
sack him.
Talking about the Premier League now. Arsenal on top of the log, by virtue of that win against West Ham. I mean, they made light work of their London rivals, of their London neighbours. You can look at the standings now. Arsenal on top, Liverpool second, and Spurs are third on the table. Third defeat on the bounce for Liverpool. Mikolo, do you see that as an opportunity for Arsenal to solidify that top spot moving on? It's just 7 match days into the season, but do you see something that they can capitalize on this Liverpool
going
side?
By the way Arsenal have lost the league in the last 3 seasons, I think last season was the only very clear advantage that Liverpool had. That was like 10 points. But in previous seasons it was by 2 points and then 5 points before that to Manchester City. So I feel like right now, when it comes to Arsenal, Liverpool, and maybe Man City, I feel like there's no too early stage for when it comes to title battles in the Premier League now. Before it used to be, let's wait till January, let's wait till February before you can then tell who's going to win the league. There was the season Arsenal lost the league by 2 points. Arsenal won all of their games from January to May, right? They only drew against they lost to Man City and then drew against Aston Villa and then still lost the league. So you cannot tell when the shift is starting to happen. Now imagine going to December with 5 points behind Liverpool after having lost the league to them by 10 points in last season. So you can never tell when the shift is going to become. You can never tell when your points are starting to matter, right? Even already this season, Arsenal already won against West Ham, lost against West Ham last season, but also they've lost points in places that they've gained points last season. Last season they defeated Manchester City by 5-1. Now they've drawn against Manchester City at the Emirates 1-1. Last season they got a draw at Anfield. Now they've lost to Szoboszlai's free kick at Anfield. So eventually you have to make up for points in places that you lost points last season because you don't know where you're going to get those points from. So I feel like for every points that you're able to get against Liverpool, wherever the battle is coming in, it can never come early enough. And I feel like this is a very good place to be. Last season it was really uppy-toppy for Arsenal. We're not even able to smell the top of the league, I guess. It was all Liverpool from beginning to start, and now to be able to get into that position feels like something good is clicking for them. For Liverpool, on the other hand, I feel like starting to crumble. We mentioned that it might not be sustainable. All of those late goals that were happening in the first.
Should fans be worried for Ancelotti? I mean, this is a man who won the league.
I feel like the international break have come at the right time. This is the right moment just to like refresh things, and then also the coaching crew, players can go clear their head and then come back into the fold and try to pick things up from where they stopped. Luckily, the points are not very much between the difference. It's just 2 points. I think a point between Chelsea and Arsenal. Not to also forget between Liverpool and Arsenal. Not also forget that Man City are also now just 3 points behind and they are knocking on the door. So it's going to be a very interesting one when teams come back into the break. But for Liverpool, I think for the style of play, I don't think I'm scared. I'm only very skeptical about the manager. I feel like he's losing his head a lot of times. I feel like last season a lot of things went so well for him, so we didn't see how he was under crumbling, right? So we didn't see him lose too many times last season, so we don't know how he was. This season now he's giving us so many explosive interviews in the press conferences, so many excuses, been saying so many things. We've seen so many outbursts on the touchlines, trying to point into the eyes of the assistant managers and all of those kind of things. So I feel like this season is going to be the true test of Ancelotti's character to see how he can manage the situation. On the field, I don't think there's so many things going wrong, but I feel like in the dugout might be the difference.
So talking about Follies, before you let me put this question to you. Talking about on the field, you don't see so many matters. It leads me to this question I want to ask now. Florian Wirtz at Leverkusen, the star player.
Oh, nice.
All balls to him.
Oh, nice.
All balls to him, and he does the job. Isak and Newcastle, everyone is finding Isak to score. Now they are Liverpool. Ekitike, same at Frankfurt. All balls to him because these guys are the main men in their respective clubs before they move to. Now they are all together. Looking at that game against Chelsea, there were several instances where Mo Salah could have passed. The frustration was visible in Wirtz's face and in Isak's face as well. Like they were through on goal in a couple of occasions, but Salah was looking for the heavens like more than 3 times in that game, skied all the ball. So, do you think it is time that these guys should pick a player and play to the particular style? Because I mean, it's Mo Salah's Liverpool. That's his team.
I was going to say that.
That's his team. So has it gotten to a point where okay, he needs to know that these are also big name players who are starting in their clubs and play as a team. So do you think that's a hindrance to this Liverpool side, big name players all clashing on the pitch in terms of ego and stuff like that?
I know this is in hindsight, we are speaking of the summer that Liverpool had.
Because a lot of people have said
it was a
there's a
fantastic
why
summer.
bringing Isak for big money and all that.
This is a case of using your hands to spoil what was good for you. Say too much ingredient, now they spoil soup. Like I feel like now Liverpool have put slots in a place where too many headaches to work.
Is it Liverpool that put slot, or is it slot that wanted these players?
No, I think he wanted a striker, Isak. They were going for Isak. They saw that it was not forthcoming. They went for Ekitike. For me, I felt that when they got Ekitike, there was no need going back for Isak.
Do you think no need going for Isak or no need going for another striker?
No, there was no need going back
Diogo
for
Jota
Isak
and Darwin Núñez.
Yes,
two strikers.
They needed a striker to complement the first choice striker. Ekitike should not be a complementary striker. Like with what he has shown at Liverpool in the first couple of games, what they needed was somebody to complement him when he's not fit. Not somebody that it's not right that every week your attack line or your center back is changing. Those are two positions where you need combinations. The attackers need to understand where they are. Today Salah is playing with Isak. Tomorrow it is Gakpo and Ekitike. Florian Wirtz did not start against Chelsea. He came off the bench. Too many, like I know top clubs have top players.
But is that not a good problem for a manager to have?
It can be a good manager, but you could see Ekitike, the celebration against Southampton. You could just show that there was that tension. The tension to that me, I'm supposed to be the guy.
Like that's
Isak too would want to be the guy because they paid record money to bring him in. Florian Wirtz wants to be the guy. Salah is there, the top paid player or in the Premier League wants to be the guy. There are so many people in that current Liverpool squad now that want to be the guy.
So how do the manager get away from that?
I honestly don't envy Aristotle. They will say it's a positive. I felt there was no need bringing Isak. It was one or the other for me. If I was Liverpool, Ekitike or Isak, and then a complementary striker, somebody that
is okay being on the bench,
and Alvarez to a Haaland. That was what Liverpool needed, not an Ekitike. And the gap between Isak and Ekitike, honestly, to me, is not that big. For me to say,
we do have said that if the injuries didn't happen, if the whole debacle with Newcastle didn't happen, because before now Isak and Ekitike, you can clearly say Isak is way better with what he's shown at Newcastle.
The major difference.
So you can't say now because what you're saying now, you can't say
the major difference is no. I'm not judging based off what I have seen. I know Isak would eventually come good and score goals for Liverpool. That's not the issue. That's not what I'm pointing out. I'm saying yes, at Newcastle he was scoring goals, but Ekitike too, yes, he was scoring goals at Eintracht Frankfurt. I'm saying the gap, if you look how they play, it's not that
playing styles, no?
Yeah, it's not that different. How the both of them, I don't know how to say it, but the two of them would not be. It was like what's his name, Arteta signing Raya. And then he was telling us, I'll be alternating my goalkeeping position. Those were two top goalkeepers. It was, but what we clearly knew who was better. It was always going to be one or the other. In this situation, it has to be one or the other, and the other person, I'm not sure any of them will be okay to play second fiddle. And I'm not sure Liverpool would have spent 90 million on Ekitike, 125 or thereabouts on
Isak.
to have them sit on the bench. So
one would definitely go play from the flank.
Maybe they had in mind that at some point the coach will play 4-4-2. Or
yeah,
some
that
games
was what I was
Isak
going to come to.
Off the left hand side, or Ekitike off the left hand side. One of them play on the wings. I don't know what the plan was when they went into the market.
I think that's possible. You know, one of them would eventually go on to play from the flanks. You know, both of them have come out to say they can play anywhere across the front line as well. I mean, what do you expect them to say?
Both of them have played as two-prong strikers.
Yeah, two-prong strikers.
Isak does it with Gyökeres for Sweden. Eintracht Frankfurt, we had Ekitike and Mamouche. So,
but looking at what I just said now, the whole star player thing and all that, how does the manager, get away from that? Does he need to talk these players down in the dressing room and say, okay, we need to play as a team? Because sometimes we know strikers, forwards. I mean, Mo Salah, he's deserved everything he's got. I mean, he's done it several times, so you can cut him some slack. But there comes a point where you need to know that, okay, you're playing with other players, you need to put them through.
I think this is the gelling moment that happens, right? It's natural, it's bound to happen, especially with players that have egos. This is my team, this is my star player kind of thing, and it only takes time before they eventually start getting to play together. And I feel like it's going to happen naturally with time. But for that to also happen, you also have to be able to then now show hierarchy. I feel like hierarchy is the word that we're looking at here, right? Hierarchy. A clear hierarchy should probably be made, and this is in the actions.
Everybody
of the
know where you
crew,
fall under.
the actions of the coaching crew, the actions of everybody knows that we're not trying to. The goal is to play for the club, right? We're not trying to justify our price tag and all of that. So it's not like it's all selfish, right? There was an out of the foot pass that
for
Salah put out for
the
Isak
header
in the game, the header that was on. So I don't think it would intentionally be selfish, but you also have to understand as a striker that are coming to play there that this is Mo Salah's team and it is whatever Mo Salah does. Then for the strikers, the coach definitely has to have an hierarchy. I feel like eventually there's still going to be an hierarchy. Isak, then Ekitike. That is how it currently looks like. Though eventually, I still feel like Ekitike is like well suited for the Liverpool team. Those first two games, he was very electric.
Compliments
with that red card, the way he got it, did he do himself any good in that situation? I mean, you look like the player was visibly frustrated of not starting that game. I don't think too needless.
That's why I'm blaming Anslot. I don't think it's something that is bad, right? I don't think that it was out of place. Fine, what he did was very stupid, but I didn't like the fact that Anslot then came out in the press to say what he did was. I think he labeled it stupid.
Andy Robertson did the same.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the kind of pressure you want to put on those kind of players, especially a big money signing.
Well, like the managers who speak out in such situations. I mean, that's what we love.
No. They can. You can't criticize, but I don't feel like you need to like scapegoat him and then say what he did was stupid. I mean, what's the difference between that and what Gasperini said about Ademola Lookman? And then we're coming here to say he called him the worst penalty taker he has ever seen in his life. It's just like you are coaching a team in England where you know that the media is always going to be all over the biggest teams, and you are slaughtering your player for the media in that manner. You should rather just take the blame as the manager and then just deal with your issues in-house, fine him if you have to, punish him if you have to, but I don't think you should be doing that in the press.
Also with Liverpool, I feel like people are putting a lot of eyes in their attack, but for me, I think where the major change has happened is in midfield. Last season for me, Liverpool had probably the best midfield trio combination apart from PSG. I thought Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister were made for each other. The pressing, the intensity of Szoboszlai, the calmness and technicality of what's his name, McAllister, and of course the long legs and energy covering or the blade of grass of Gravenberch. I did not think Liverpool should have changed that midfield. Now they are forcing Szoboszlai to play as a right back so that they can fit in their big signing in it. And it is changing how Liverpool plays. It is changing how Liverpool, because Florian Wirtz is more attack minded than having defensive responsibility in his mind. Last season, Szoboszlai, yes, as much as he went forward, he knew that his primary job was to protect his team in midfield and not allow opposition get past them. And they allowed the attackers to do their thing. Luis Diaz, Gakpo and Salah, and those guys shined. They shone like million stars. I say shined. Those guys, they shone like million stars last season. But this season, Florian Wirtz looks like he wants to get crashed into the box and do one or two. And he's leaving Gravenberch and McAllister, or Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, whoever, or Curtis Jones, whoever is in that midfield. I feel that's where Liverpool's major problem is, changing that midfield. What was working so well last season, changing it into what they have now. It's a big problem.
So in a nutshell, no cause for alarm?
I don't think there's cause.
No, I still think Liverpool will comfortably finish in the top 5. I'm no longer sure about their
winning the league. Yeah.
If it continues like this, but if obviously things can change. They can win their next game now, and Arsenal lose, they go back to the top of the table again.
So no cause for alarm for you as well.
No cause for alarm.
Too early days. All right, and let's go to Manchester City now. I mean, like you talked about, just 3 points now below Arsenal, top of the table. I mean, Erling Haaland. Just one stadium he's yet to score in all the stadiums he's played in,
Anfield.
And that's Anfield. I mean, he's got a chance to do that. That's going to be till February, because City don't come to Anfield till February. The first leg will be in November. Is at the Etihad. But I mean, how good is this number 9, Erling Haaland, with what he's shown in the Premier League since he came to Manchester City. How can you describe Erling Haaland as a centre forward?
I think he's deadly. He's a very bullish striker. He's traditional
That's
9.
the word, deadly.
Wants to score, wants to punish you. I saw a clip this morning. I stumbled across a clip on Twitter where there was like a compilation of him just bullying strikers, bullying defenders. You know, just that sheer power of being able to like dust you off and then finish, set himself up for finishing. And not to bring any comparison, I feel like that's what's currently separating him. And because I used to make a lot of complaint about Gyökeres to a friend of mine about Arsenal, but just the process of you not being muddled up by defenders is a very big factor of Erling Haaland, because defenders will try to rough you up, especially in the Premier League. Their job is to stop you from getting a clean shot out, but the perfect quality of Erling Haaland is to be able to get a clean shot. And that's why it suits the Premier League very well. He's bullish in a way that he gets his cross across, his shots across. He can always put his legs. You know, he sets himself up for a perfect finish, and that's like a very complimentary thing about him. Like is phenomenal. I feel he's one of the best centre forwards. He's gonna retire.
You've watched or like
he's gonna retire as one of the greatest strikers ever. To be honest, right? And I think it's just 24, 25. Yes, and he's breaking like records already, scoring at 22 or 23 of 24 grounds and all of that, and scoring goals for fun. I mean, he's going to break the goal scoring record if he continues in the Premier League.
I mean, if our producer is going to put this out, that's 18 goals in 11 matches in 2025-2026 season so far. 9 goals from 7 appearances so far in the Premier League for Erling Braut Haaland. Do you see any flaws in his game? I mean, look at that stat you can see on your screen. 11 matches, 18 goals for Manchester City. That's in 2025-2026 season so far. I mean, we have days where Ronaldo will score 40, 50 goals a season, Messi and all that. This is a guy who can give us that numbers if he continues without injuries. Look at the stat we talked about earlier on, where he scored in 22 of the 23 stadiums that he has played in since he came to Manchester City. Felix, do you see any flaws? Or okay, let me continue. Yeah. Do you see any flaw in Erling Haaland as a centre forward?
I think it is overwokeness and over simplicity of things that would say you are seeing flaw in Erling Haaland. The only reason why you see a flaw is because you are being overwoke, like you're expecting more. In football, what wins games? Goals. What is the job of a striker? To score. Have they won things? Yes. Has he scored those goals that have put them across the line? Yes, he has done. What else are you looking for?
In games where those goals don't come,
what
we'll say come and say without the goals is shit. It doesn't build up. If he doesn't score, he's needless.
If we're not scoring, then what are we looking for in the game?
But even talking about him not getting involved in play, I think that has changed a bit this season. I've seen Erling Haaland.
The goal against Arsenal, he created it.
Yeah,
he created the goal.
Against Manchester United, he was dropping deep, starting play, and of course running.
He was one that started the run against Arsenal, got the ball, gave it to.
So I think he's getting more
and then made the run.
But one thing I would not want anybody to take away from Erling Haaland is that poacher's instincts that he has.
He's a striker.
Like, he knows where the ball is going to land. I was looking at their Champions League game, the one they played to the runs he made for both goals. Especially the one that Vardio crossed. He was behind the defender when Vardio was going to cross. He made a run as if he was going to go to the front. The defender moved forward. He moved back. Then he went forward again. All of those things happening in split seconds in his head. I think people don't give him enough credit for that. I used to be one of those people who would say Erling Haaland is the best striker or best finisher, not the best player, but he's becoming a footballer, like a proper football player, and he's getting involved in play. I think the problem people have when they talk about Erling Haaland is they are comparing him with other strikers. They look at Harry Kane and see what he does all around. They look at Kylian Mbappe, how he can dribble, he can drift wide, and of course still score the goals. They look at what Dembele did for PSG last season, dropping deep, facilitating PSG's attack, and they want Haaland to be that guy. Haaland is not that guy. What Haaland has, those guys would never in their life. Like that instinct to know where the ball is going to drop, that the ability to score one-touch goals. The closest person to him that can do that is Harry Kane, because he has a fantastic movement too. But that ability, those guys want to take 1, 2, 3 touch, create their own chance by themselves before they fire. But Erling Haaland, that instinct, you cannot buy that in them. They don't teach it in academies. It comes with you from heaven or hell, wherever you come from. It comes with you from wherever you're coming from. You just develop it, but it's already there. You just build it and become a fantastic player. But he's one of the best finishers I've seen in my lifetime. And probably I don't know what people of old were scoring. How Pele was scoring 1,000 goals. Because if Haaland is like this and he's scoring,
and you wonder, how
would have been one mad.
Well, fantastic striker Erling Haaland. I mean, I think there's nobody who comes close when it comes to the golden boots so far. I don't know who is nearest
in the Premier League
this season. I mean, this season, like he's the
European golden boot or Premier League.
Premier League golden boot.
Because European golden boot is going to Hurricane. No?
No, but I'm talking about the Premier League golden boot.
I saw an interview where somebody asked him about for the European golden shoe that is he competing with Hurricane, and then jokingly just said that don't forget Kylian as well.
The thing is. Erling Haaland right
for
now
Premier League,
he has the Premier League golden boot already wrapped up. With Erling Haaland, the only reason for me why he would not win the European golden boot is I don't feel like he has enough behind him to push him. He has scored a couple of goals this season where, like Mikolo mentioned, the goal against Arsenal, the one his movement against and Vadio, it looks like they are connected 3 games now straight. The 2 of them have been connecting to score. The midfield, Tijani Reinders is still finding his feet. Foden is not Kevin De Bruyne. He's also another player that wants to arrive late into the box and cross. So I'm not sure he would have enough supply to score as much as he would need. So you saw both Kylian Mbappe and Hurricane in Europe, but in the Premier League,
Hurricane is already
18 goals already.
So, but I mean, looking at the Premier League table again, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, it's not a good watch for me. It's been a tough week. 3 defeats
as a Man United fan,
on the bounce ball
position.
But thank God for our Merseyside neighbours. They ended the unbeaten run of Crystal Palace. I love the banter between 2 clubs. When that unbeaten run continued, say check our bio, and when Everton defeated them, they tweeted back, you have to update the bio and stuff like that. So a good run for Everton. I think they're yet to lose a game at their new stadium, so they keep on getting the result. But for Nottingham Forest, Ange Postecoglou has been one of the worst start to a season for any manager. So I mean, you get a feeling
now you get swearing for people at press
now you get a feeling that why let's Nuno go in the kind of situation they did to bring a manager like Ange Postecoglou. Still early days, we know things can turn around, but with the way it has started, do you see him keeping his job come the end of the international break for Ange Postecoglou? Because Marinakis can be brutal, can be very reactionary as well when you look at it as well. But do you see Ange Postecoglou turning it around for Forest? Felix, quick one before we go on to the next.
If it was somebody else, like a different owner, I would say Pride not go let them Saka. But this is Marinakis we are talking about, like somebody who is famous for maybe getting 2-3 managers in a season, both at Olympiacos and now at Nottingham Forest. So I will not be shocked in the slightest to hear that they've moved on from Ange Postecoglou. But you look around, who is out there in the market that they would get to come and stabilize the situation right now? And if they are considering the fact that okay, this man has come in, he's trying to change how we play and different things, let's give him a bit of time. So maybe he still has maybe 1-2 weeks or 2 games, maybe 2, like we would do in the NPFL, 2 games ultimatum. But after that, I'm not sure about it. But I will not be shocked if we sleep this night and wake up tomorrow and they say Nottingham Forest are fired Ange Postecoglou. It's Marinakis. It is what they do.
I think they should just wait for second season.
So after in the championship,
after taking them to the championship, I see what you did there. And let's move away from the Premier League. Let's go to the Spanish La Liga now. I mean, the biggest result from the Spanish La Liga has to be that game between Sevilla and Barcelona. I mean, did you see that defeat? Now back-to-back defeats for Barcelona. I think, they lost to PSG in the Champions League and now losing to Sevilla in the league. Looking at the results across various centers in the Spanish La Liga. Wins for Osasuna, Levante wins for Girona as well. Bilbao 2-1 win over Mallorca. Real Madrid top of the table, 3-1 win against Villarreal. I mean, the result of the week has to be that game where Sevilla defeated Barcelona by 4-1. And Real Madrid top of the table now, just 2 points above Barcelona. Now let's look at that. Yeah, no, Madrid on 21, Barcelona on 19. So that's 2 points. Real Madrid now currently topping the table in the Spanish La Liga. Now, where did it go wrong? For one thing I love about that game is it was a Nigerian who put the nail on the coffin for Barcelona in that game. Adams. I mean, that celebration. This is a guy who's had his own injury worries, and now he's scoring back-to-back games for Sevilla. Good to see him all smiles and happy. 4-1. Where did Barcelona lost this game? Felix, you were talking about them earlier on, Hansi Flick and the highlight and stuff like that. Do you think it was their undoing in this game?
Unsurprisingly, I was not surprised that Barcelona lost that game against Sevilla, because it was a possibility going into that game. Sevilla have been playing some good football the last couple of weeks and even months, stretching back into last season. Yes, they might not be at their best or the level that you expect Sevilla to be in, but they've been playing some good football, and I think teams are beginning to try and exploit that high line of Barcelona when they play against them. On CBS, after the Champions League, Goncalo Ramos was saying he looked at one clip of Bayern last season when they were playing against PSG and saw how Harry Kane was always starting in offside position because he knows his team will always go wide, and when they go wide, by the time the ball gets to that wide, he's onside position. And that was what Sevilla exploited. Barcelona will push high up, and they do. But again, I can also understand Hansi Flick. They did that same high line last season, and they won almost everything except the Champions League that they lost in the semi-finals. And you cannot say it's a systematic problem. I agree with Hansi Flick. They are not doing some of the things that they were doing right last season. And Lamine Yamal with his sweetie it's not helping matter. He's 72 weeks now.
The matter of football Twitter is crazy.
Like I don't understand how you are that important to your team and you are going up and down to go and be carrying sweetie.
Let's talk Lamine Yamal now. Talented, no doubt. Fantastic footballer, fantastic player. But do you fear for his future in terms of his lifestyle, the kind of injuries he's getting, playing too many games?
Kind of injuries.
Do you fear for Lamine Yamal?
I think the one about lifestyle, I don't think I'm scared about that. I'm scared about injuries because of recent. We've also seen how much playing youngsters and too many games, they are piling up a whole lot. We've seen the likes of Gavi, likes of Pedro starting to get injured, consistently, consecutively.
But is this thing true that youngsters are playing too many games?
They are playing too many games. Before now,
Rooney and Ronaldo at 17, 18.
Look at you.
Before now, in the days of Arsene Wenger, if you see a 17-year-old, you'll be jubilating. A 17-year-old making
that playing at 15, 16, at
one in how many games?
No, I'm saying Rooney.
How many games?
So the people we are talking are exceptional players. Not be all 17, 18 they play a lot of games. Gavi started because generational talents when they were spotted.
With the amount of games currently now in the sport,
the amount of games currently in football
maybe some other time we'll bring these numbers out and check if they're actually playing more games.
I think they're playing more games.
No, I think until this Club World Cup, and except for years where there will be Club World Cup,
so
players don't play more games than they used to play.
About playing games, more games or not, is it something good for these players, for these young players at a very young age, playing such amount of games?
For me again, I would always say the games are not the problem. What's the problem is the intensity of the games now. If we say the intensity is much more than whatever it was previously, I would agree with you. The Premier League has always been, it was from 42 games, they reduced it to 38. The Premier League is still 38. The Champions League only increased this season by extra 2 games for teams. And that is if you play the playoff. That's where you get those extra 2 games. In the Carabao Cup, they've removed second leg that we used to have. We used to play, you play first leg, is a draw, you play a return leg. It's no longer there again. Now it's 1 leg, straight to penalties. They've reduced games there.
Wait,
teams are not joining from 4th and 5th.
All of these 16 and 17-year-olds that you mentioned, did they play all of these games?
That's what I'm saying. It's not all of the 16, 17 years. It's the exceptional 16, 17
and
years.
They still don't play all of the games.
Exceptional 16, 17 years old playing.
But they don't play all of the games. They don't play all of the games. The likes of Gavi and this thing, as they are playing under 17, they will play under 20, they will play senior national team, they will play Barcelona because they are very exceptional talents. How many games do you want them to play? They'll play in the summer, play in the winter, play a league match, play Carabao, play everything. All before 17, you have racked up 200, 300 games. Why? Yamal has been playing since what age?
16.
I feel like medically, I didn't study medicine, but I just feel like medically there are things that are wrong with having them play those much amount of games in that period of time. I can't prove it yet, but I feel like there's a research that should prove me right.
The problem would be like I said, the intensity. But again, a counter opposition to that would be the people of old. They used to play on muddy pitches. Their balls were heavier, their jerseys were heavier. They didn't play in perfect condition. They didn't have hot baits to go into after game. They didn't have all the physios and sports scientists that take care of these players now.
You are saying
so that's a counter
we're not discussing
argument.
97.
No, I'm saying now.
We're discussing 2004.
Probably on our next episode, we'll probably look for the numbers from time past and now. You find out. I did that search last year when people were complaining. The player who played the most games last year was Julian Alvarez, and he's been like that for 2 years playing Argentina. And when I came to conclusion, I saw that he played 69 games far back as 2001. Figo was playing 71 games in a season. In 1999, when United won the treble, when they went deep into all competitions, and their players played for their national team, players were playing 69 games. So I don't think the games are more, as people put it, but the intensity. And you know, every coach want to press high. From minute one, fresh whistle, start pressing high. You know, all those old times. So they were resting. And the other thing now is every game now is important because of the finance in the sport. So people really rest players for on the games. And now no friendly match where people could play say, now friendly match where they play Satagavua. Let me see this one out. No, it's now Nations League. You need to win it to stay top there. So it's competitive and intensity is much more. Not like the games are more. Maybe you check it out after this episode. You'd find out that as far back as 96, 97, 98, 2000, Frank Lampard's and that's why Ryan Giggs could accumulate 1,000 plus games. How many players in the modern era?
I think away from the injury as well, I think lifestyle wise for that age, come on, I feel like I can do better.
Yeah, because that's where a lot of people are looking at. So you don't go down the road talented
for that age. Then I think I also understand the angle, right? The angle is also like his father is also very young, probably had him at a very young age. So I think like they're just both fulfilling their fantasies or their childhood. Both of them are just living their dream. Now the first money where they touch with this. So but then I just feel like lifestyle wise,
cannot be carrying sweetie every
needs more when it comes to like management, people to like put him on his toes. I think his father is his agent and people that are managing him are also his family. I think like he needs more people to like
that's in the good and bad sometimes.
Put him grounded and all of that. Having your family members, they can't tell you no because you're the breadwinner.
You're the breadwinner.
You understand all of those kind of things. Imagine becoming a breadwinner at 15 or at 16, 17. You're changing the life. So how do you want to tell you the truth? Because if not that, nobody's able to tell you the truth. How will you carry dwarf and say you're using it to do party? What kind of fetish is that? You carry dwarfs to your place to do party. You are doing orgy and all of those kind of things. As
you get exclusive.
As a 17-year-old, I never guess between now where they say injury in his pubic area.
But Barcelona were stupid. They threw that guy under the bus with that.
They are being truthful. They are being real. So
it's just medical emergency.
The 30-year-old woman too that came out with news on Instagram was saying how he was messaging her. Did you not see the difference? You know even game. If you get money, you know you get game. No, now straight to the point. What are you doing? Do you like to join me on the island of Italy? The guy say, hey, why will I get it? Say, don't worry, I'll tell them to send private jet to come and pick you. Lifestyle, just you don't touch money at 17.
Well, a lot's going down with these footballers. I mean, if you ask me at the top of my head, I just fear for his career. But you know, when it comes to the talents, no doubt, fantastic footballer. A lot of people even felt he should have won the Ballon d'Or that was given to Dembele recently as well.
No, he should
I
not
think
have.
I think
the right person won.
I think we agree that Dembele was deserving.
I also want to say something. So this is not like maybe there's no racial undertone to this because he's also black and all that. But do you guys feel like, aside people that are currently bantering, people that currently banter Yamal for maybe the rival fans and all of that, do you feel like this guy is enjoying privilege of being a good player, right? Because I look at these kind of things and I look at players that have been crucified for far less than the kind of things that Yamal is doing right now. For example, I know that no Nigerian player can even do this. They go down wound you in the first place. They go down finish you. Now, let's not even talk about Nigerian players because you might say, maybe there's racial undertones. The likes of Paul Pogba, the likes of Max Rashford, they not do reach the level. Why do we feel like that is so?
So I actually think if you are delivering on the pitch, which is where is most important, you can get away with many things. Like success.
Well, I see that too.
Success and winning can cover a lot of things.
People tend not to care, just deliver.
That's what has always been the same person doing whatever he does, being emoting. When he was scoring 30 goals in a season, it became prominent and became a problem when the goals dried up. It's just like a team. You are building a team and you're not playing. They play fine. Your football is not fine, but you are winning. People like, for example, we've talked about Liverpool throughout this season. Yeah. They've not been the sparkling Liverpool team, but getting the points, and everybody will come out and say that's champion stuff. When you don't play well, you get the 3 points. But now they are not playing well. They are not getting the points. Everything is becoming like obvious. Anyway,
they are still making excuses for Liverpool, because I saw somebody was saying something about transition. I'm like, transition in second season as defending champions, and your biggest summer transfer, you broke the transfer record twice in one window. You are telling me transition. What is transition about Liverpool team?
Well, it's a new team, new players are betting. So you just have to understand.
The point I was driving is I feel that our media darlings, Liverpool is one of them. Barcelona and their players, maybe one of them as well, because Lamine Yamal, if it was
being media darlings, did not fall from heaven with them.
Did not end. He's paid PR.
Maybe Arsenal can pay for some.
Arsenal have always been
anyhow you want to put it, but I mean sometimes you have to just look at these things, look at the pros, look at the cons when it comes to when you sign too many players in a new team. But guys, time flies when you're having fun on the show. We'll go on one more break. As you all know, it's the international break. Super Eagles time. Final 2 games of the World Cup Qualifier. After this break, we preview those 2 games involving the Super Eagles. Welcome back, guys, to the Gliders on BETWGB TV. What are you waiting for? If you're yet to sign up on the BETWGB platform, you can do that right away and claim the huge bonus credits that you can get. Just use our promo code Gliders and you can enjoy the very best of the platform. And like we always say, remember, bet responsibly. It's international break. You can also enjoy the very best of the platform. Stake on games that you see can be the very best for you. Now, guys, back on the show. Just like I mentioned before the break, 2 games for the Super Eagles. I know we've talked a lot about the Super Eagles, building up to this game. I mean, it's early season, international breaks coming in thick and fast. For the first 3 months into the new season, we had the September one. We are in the October one. There's going to be one next month as well. But this is deciding moments for the Super Eagles. Now the 3 points has been deducted from South Africa. We have Lesotho and we have Benin Republic. But just before that game, let's take a look at the squad selection that Chelle has selected to do the job for these 2 games against Lesotho and Benin Republic. I don't know if the squad is any better when it comes to the selection. Look at the goalkeeping position, remains the same. Stanley Wabali, Amas Obasoge and Adebayo Adele. When it comes to defenders, Felix Agu, we don't know if he will be fit enough. We saw him injured over the weekend. Bruno Oyemachi, Bright Osai Sama, who he has been replaced by Zaidus Sanusi. Simi Ajayi also makes a return to the squad. There's William Troost-Ekong, Calvin Bassi and also Benjamin Fredericks. When it comes to midfield, Alex Iwobi, Wilfred Ndidi, Frank Onyeka and Alassane Yusuf. Chrysanthus Uche has been added. He's coming to replace the injured Cyril Desses in that squad. I mean, the forward positions, we've got new faces there. Ako Adams, who we talked about earlier, scored for Sevilla over the weekend, and Olakunle Olusegun, the man from Russia, also in the squad. Now, a whole lot has been said about, every time the squad has been released, we look at the midfield and no quality depth in that midfield positions. Now, looking at this squad and the midfielders we have, are they any better than the players who have failed to do the job so far in this World Cup qualifiers, heading into this crucial final 2 games against Lesotho and Benin Republic? Mikolo, let's start with you.
I'm not confident. That I think I should put that out first. I don't think I'm confident. I feel
about the team or about the midfield?
About the team, about the midfield, about our chances. I think I've also said it on the show before that if we get to qualify for the World Cup, it's going to be the miracle. It's going to be like the miracle after the miracle of Istanbul. I think it's going to be bigger than the miracle of Istanbul, to be honest. I genuinely feel like we've shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times with some of the games that we've lost, with some of the points that we've lost. And even with the 3 points that have been deducted from South Africa, I still cannot boldly say that we're going to win against Lesotho.
Yeah, shows how far we fell off.
I don't think we're going to win against Lesotho away in South Africa, because there's going to be a lot of play, especially with the 3 points that has now been deducted with them. I feel like there's been so many calculations that have already gone down with how things should play out, right? I feel like South Africa have made their plans, Benin have made their plans, everybody has made their calculations on where we need to drop points, and for South Africa to stand any chance, Lesotho has to defeat the Super Eagles.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes it very dicey. And now we're not also confident in our team, right, because of the players that we've invited. I feel like this obsession of Eric Chelle with his formation is what has put us in this position in the first place, and might eventually make us miss out on the World Cup.
I don't know about it putting us in this position.
He has not coached 4 games.
Why do you say you don't know about it?
You want to put the blame on
You
him.
said he's the one that put us in this position first.
What do you want to blame?
He's the one that
you want to blame.
He made the position that we are in. He's the top person.
Did he win all of them? His own chances.
He won
Did
2 and 3-2.
Imagine, and drew against what teams? In what
The
teams?
teams, one of the teams that was topping the table before he came. South Africa.
And he dropped points to which team?
It's not been a smooth World Cup qualifiers for the Super Eagles. Now I look at this squad. There's no regular right back. Of course, Olaino is injured. I mean, getting into these final crucial games, you don't want to lose key players. But unfortunately, Aina has been injured.
Sadly.
Bright got injured now, has been replaced by left back Zaidu Sanusi. I don't know. Looking at the squad, how
are we lining up?
How do you think Eric Chelle will prosecute that game against Lesotho?
Fit, maybe he gets his first shot with the Super Eagles in a competitive game if he's fit, and then they do what he wants to.
Yes, now guys,
This is an important game. Is it when you want to be giving players?
I'm looking at this. Do you know when the list came out? Right, I was looking at it, and there's nothing that inspires any form of confidence in this list for me. Like, because I can already tell what formation we're going to be playing.
Same.
I can also tell that we're not relying on creating, right? We're not relying on playing very good football or maybe trying to play. We're relying on bringing.
What is very good football?
We're relying on bringing Ademola Lookman to 10, which is why we have just 4 midfielders. Ademola Lookman to 10. Samuel Chukwueze on the right, Moses Simon on the left, Victor Osimhen up front, and we're playing our normal diamond formation, and it's looking scary.
But it's not like the players are available and the coach has not invited them. Fisayo Dele Bashir is injured.
Yeah.
Onyedika is injured.
Yeah.
So what would you rather have the coach do?
Chris Santos was not in this lineup before the injury.
He wasn't. Yeah, he
Why?
wasn't.
He's there now.
No, why?
But why? When we are looking for
If you're not going to play,
options.
if you're not going to play 5 or 4 midfielders, if you're going to play maybe 2.
But why does he keep playing the same players when it's not been like working
Chris Santos
for?
played in the last game. It's not like he pulled up 3s.
Brought him in now.
He brought him in.
Yeah, it's not like he pulled up 3s in that game. It's not like he did.
So in a nutshell, what are you trying to? What
I'm saying
what I want
is
to say is
Santos
that-
was in that team, and if he's in this,
What I want to say is
lineup,
that this same Felix earlier on in the show was talking about how Ruben Amorim should be able to switch formations sometimes.
I'm not
and give
talking
them-
about formation here now.
Wait now. Personnel is also formation and information now. Formation, tactics, formation and tactics
That's fire,
is also formation and tactics is not just formation is different. Is beyond just tactics is different. Hey, God of mercy. Tactics. wait. Tactics is beyond just formation. Tactics also involves the personnel that are involved in the game, right? So if you are saying somebody should be able to switch tactics according to the opponents that are playing, according to how things are not working, then you should be able to switch personnel as well. Why are you not calling up Chris Santos in the first place when he offers a different approach to what we can eventually
The
give?
4 midfielders
that's been given
that were initially invited were Alassane,
Yes,
Ndidi,
Alassane has not played for us
Iwobi,
since first game of
Frank Onyeka.
Frank Onyeka.
Yeah.
Now,
Chris Santos replaced a centre forward. This
Yes,
is
sir.
who we had much already on the roster
Yeah.
yes.
with 2 new boys.
Yes.
So our coach naturally would play one there. Ndidi would most likely start in that DM position. If Ndidi is not available to play, Alassane takes up that position.
Alassane has not played for us in how long?
Yeah, but Alassane,
even when he gets called up, he doesn't play.
Yeah, but Alassane,
I don't think he has played
hand.
since AFCON.
He has played since AFCON, but like Emmanuel said, he barely played. I think he came on one game as a sub, and then after that,
I remember
he did not play again. But he's a capable hand. He's a DM. My problem is if we had creative midfielders or creative players, and the coach did not invite them. Everybody in our midfield are like for like. Chrysanthos, Ndidi, Onyeka, Alassane. Iwobi is like the only creative player there. What's the need of...
So the question is, are we going to play Iwobi in that position of creativity? Are we even looking to create, or we are looking to play Ademola on the top of the
my
diamond?
point is why I did not see any problem with the coach not inviting Chrysanthos initially.
Yeah, because you can already tell what he's going to do.
No, because I think all the players are like for like. What's the need of just packing 4 DMs if they are the only ones that are available on your roster when you know you are going to play probably 1 or 2 of them in that game? Maybe get other positions that you can get players, and we know he plays diamond. He's going to play Ademola. He's going to play Moses Simon.
On top of the diamond, Uncle.
Leave me. Let's just win against Lesotho.
You know that's non-negotiable. If you ask me, because
at least give us a chance going into the final game.
If these players go to South Africa and you don't get that 3 points against Lesotho
before the game, I'm going to.
They've gone past that stage of not eating. I think the South Africa game was the game that you needed to eat before.
So if I put it to you now on the spot, do you see the Super Eagles getting maximum 6 points from these 2 games against Lesotho and Benin Republic? Remember, Egenetro led Benin Republic coming to Uyo. He knows the players, he knows the stadium, he knows the surroundings. Do you see the Super Eagles getting the 6 points, then hoping that other teams drop?
So I don't know now. This is my bias coming out. Yes, call me witchcraft, call me demon, whatever you want to call me. But I don't know if I want the Super Eagles to actually get 6 points. I want us to win Lesotho, have our faith and our chances in our hands, just in case South Africa like fluff their lines. If South Africa win their game, they are playing Rwanda,
Zimbabwe first, Rwanda second,
and they are playing Rwanda. It would have been nice if they are playing Rwanda first, and maybe they drop point. I would know then we'll go into that game against.
And I play Zimbabwe at home.
Yeah, both games in South Africa.
Rwanda plays South Africa.
Both games.
Zimbabwe and Lesotho play there.
Zimbabwe is an away game. Then
the
other game, yeah.
So they most likely are going to win
6 points.
Both of those games. So what I want is we win against Lesotho, and then give Benin Republic so they can go to.
You want them to spoil Uyo? You want them to break Uyo Stadium the way they did for Abuja?
Because that's I don't want to picture that scenario again. Because if you go to Lesotho, if you go to South Africa,
I would rather have Benin Republic go to the World Cup than South Africa.
No, if you go to South Africa and you play Lesotho and you don't get the 3 points, I don't know.
Get the 3 points in South Africa.
I'm seeing what happened in Abuja. You repeat yourself in Uyo because the fans are going to be so.
No, I think Uyo fans. I think South Uyo fans. I don't think they would.
Minus even the Uyo fans. I don't think it's as high stake as what we had with the Ghana game. The Ghana game was a one-off
knockout
game to pick up it. Nigerians like if you go on the streets now, do a vox pop, ask 10 Nigerians about the World Cup. 8-9 of them are probably telling you we are not going to the World Cup. So we've already zeroed our minds on the World Cup. So that's alone in itself. I'm not even sure the Uyo Stadium is going to be filled. I'm not sure if the government does not
even
buy
if it's thrown open.
If the government does not buy the whole stadium, it's not going to be filled. I'm sure about that one. If they buy the whole stadium, like the whole ticket, I'm not sure it's going to be filled because people have zeroed their mind on us going to the World Cup. So I don't think what happened in Abuja is going to happen in Uyo. But I would rather Benin Republic go to that World Cup than South Africa.
Well, moving away from the Super Eagles, we also have the Flying Eagles who have progressed to the next stage of the Under-20 World Cup, currently going down in Chile. We needed another late penalty from Daniel Bami, the man who so many people have questioned
our special captain.
How many times he's going to play at the Under-20 World Cup. But this one is going to be quick, guys. So Felix, let me start with you. Your thoughts on the Flying Eagles so far and this next game. I think it's Argentina who they play next in the knockout stages. So what can you say about this team so far?
Mixed. I am quite mixed about the guys. After the first game against Norway, we played we held possession and we had our chances in that game, but Norway were very, very resolute in defense. They took that game by 1-0 via a penalty. I saw improvements in the game against Saudi Arabia. Yes, it was kind of split in terms of possession and all of that, but it sort of favored us. That it was an open game, not a game that one team was sitting back. And I think that's where Nigeria tried because of our energy and the spark that our boys can produce in games like that. I was hoping for even more improvement against Colombia, but I figured that I found out that even the Colombia team are very, very exciting to watch. A very fantastic team to play against. So it was good to see that we could get a result in that game when we needed to do it. I'm not sure about us against Argentina going forward. I'm not sure because it's been a tough tournament for us to play in. I was hoping that the guys would grow in confidence as the games come by, but with what I've seen over 3 games, I'm not going to bet anything that the guys are going to get past Argentina.
Mikolo, quick one on the Flying Eagles. We saw Ahmed Akinyele, who had a tough game, was dropped in this last game they
rightly
played.
So.
Yeah, and you said rightly so. Well, because a lot of people felt he didn't live up to expectations in that game. But I mean, what can you say about the Flying Eagles so far and what they've done up to this very moment?
I think we've not been able to like string passes together in the way that I would expect. Is different from the ball play that I saw in the AFCON when they played and then they took third place in the channel. All of that, so I feel like there's like too much pressure. Probably they need like psychologists or something because they're playing like with so much pressure. Everybody feels like this is the platform where they can sell themselves. People are missing like basic mistakes. We are missing headers. We
want to put a name to those basic mistakes.
Yeah, we watch Ahmed Akinyele in Remo Stars. We watched him at the National Sports Festival. We saw how influential he is in defense, and then this is now the Ahmed Akinyele that is missing headers. Against Saudi Arabia, and we were considering very cheap goals. Ebenezer Akot, that was a phenomenal talent in the AFCON, in the WAFU, was keeping out penalties in the semi-finals and doing so well. Suddenly they've not kept any clean sheets in the World Cup. I feel like there's there's like so many emotions that's been shown. I don't know, just like what Felix said, I was hoping they'll be able to like grow into the game, into the tournament, but I've still not seen any improvement. Against the last game against Colombia, we hit the woodwork 3 times, and that was really unfortunate. But I feel like one very big revelation for people that have not watched him before should be Sani Suleiman. It's been like
I think there are a couple of players.
Yeah, he's been our best player in this tournament for me. I mean, it's been a joy to watch. Also, Odinaka Okoro on that left. So on that left,
Ayuma and Daga partnership in midfield.
Odinaka and Sani have been very phenomenal, and hopefully they can like speak to themselves. Maybe we've met. I think our next match is definitely our arch rivals when it comes to like youth competitions or other competitions. I don't know why we have to face Argentina now. There's always much at stake eventually when it comes to Argentina when we meet at any stage in time. Hopefully we can, at least we can do friends. I don't know. I had high hopes coming into the tournament, especially for the players that were picked. But going by what I've seen in the last 3 games, I don't think I still that high hope. That's why I'm scared.
All right, guys, that's as much as we can take on the show today. But just before we go, let's just give you a rundown of what happened in the Nigerian Premier Football League. We have our first managerial casualty of the NPFL season. I think Tunde Sani of Kwara United has been,
come to my house
after talking tough in that game against Asante Kotoko, and now he's lost again at home, and now he's been relieved of his duties. Lost at home to Abia Warriors. Interesting results all over. Academy Warriors 2-1 winners at home to Kano Pillars. Benden Insurance lost at home to surprise table toppers at this stage, Nasarawa United. Rangers Casino United postponed. Shooting Stars continue their recent run 1-0 against Plateau United. Eyimba drew at home to Rivers United, the game of the weekend, but sadly no goals for that one. Niger Tornadoes 1-1 at home to Kun Khalifat. Barao lost at home to
Kun Khalifat picking a point on the road.
Picking a point on the road. Very impressive. Bayelsa United at 1-1 draw at home. Kwara United, like I mentioned, just one more game left. Remo Stars against Wiki Tories. Looking at the table, like I mentioned, Nasarawa United, the early surprise contenders as far as this season is concerned. 16 points from 7 games. Eyimba, Abia Warriors, and Rivers United currently occupy the 4 continental sports as far as the league table is concerned. Thank you so much for sticking with us all through the show today. It's been wonderful, it's been brilliant, and for those of you who have been commenting, who's been dropping likes, sharing our content across board, we want to say thank you. Keep the likes coming, keep the share coming, and don't forget, always drop a comment on our show, and always keep a look with us on the gliders on BETWGB TV. The crew next time will be changed, so expect different faces on the show next time
11
when we
rotated.
come your way.
Our coach is flexible.
Shout out to Joy for the rotation. She'll make a good coach. I don't know if it's football, but I just have to give her that shout out for the formation she's put out there. So guys, enjoy the rest of the week. If you have the heart to watch the Super Eagles, I wish you all the very best.
And make sure you eat before you watch.
Make sure you eat. Very important. Eat before you watch the Super Eagles game. My name is Emmanuel Sebastian. I've done this with Felix and Mikolo. Till I come away again next time. Bye bye.